Welcome to the Caithness Crystal Visitor Centre, the home of the King's Lynn Crystal Glass Studio, located on the edge of the picturesque market town of King's Lynn. King's Lynn, the gateway to Norfolk, has a wealth of heritage. From the 12th century St Margaret's Church, built by the Bishop Herbert de Lozinga, and the Greyfriars Tower, to the Red Mount Chapel, built as a wayside for travelling pilgrims, which today is surrounded by the beautiful walks with its tree-lined avenues. One of the most recognisable structures here in King's Lynn is the South Gate. Most visitors to the town still have to pass through it today. The Custom House must be King's Lynn's most iconic landmark. It was designed by architect Henry Bell and built by Sir John Turner in 1685. So whether you're here on holiday, visiting for a day, or someone who lives locally, the Caithness Crystal Visitor Centre and historic King's Lynn town is well worth a visit. The process of glassmaking is an ancient art. Although it may look simple, a very high level of skill and many years of training are needed. So let's take you through the process for making a piece of our King's Lynn crystal. First, we choose the right iron for the job. Next, the glassmaker takes a gather of glass from the furnace, making sure the right amount of glass is on the end of the iron. At this point, the glass in the furnace is 1100 degrees centigrade. The gather is then dipped in the colour. This is made from chemically coloured crushed or powdered glass. The gather is then reheated in the glory hole. This will melt the colour and reheat the glass, so it becomes easier to rework. The gather is then rolled back and forward on the marvering table to create a parazon on the end of the iron. During the glassmaking process, the iron is continually rotated, so the molten toffee-like glass will not distort and fall from the iron. It's at this stage the first small quantity of air is blown down into the glass. The blower's thumb is placed over the end of the iron to trap the air, and slowly the glass ball will enlarge. The ball is put onto the roller. This will act as a pair of hands to rotate the ball. This will stop the glass from losing its shape. Another iron is chosen and the process mirrored with a different coloured parazon of glass. This is trailed around the outside of the first ball. The ball is reheated in the glory hole to melt the trail of glass. This is then marvered and shaped. The ball is pushed into a ripple mould, giving the vase its unique design. Again, the ball is reheated, worked and shaped with the wet newspaper. The glass then needs to be cooled. This is done by blasting the surface with compressed air. This will stop the ball collapsing when it is re-dipped into the hot glass. Once the glassmaker is happy, he covers the ball with clear crystal glass. The next stage requires the most skill. Using hand-eye coordination to achieve a vase that has been completely handmade without the use of moulds, the piece is continually worked and slowly blown to enlarge to the required size. Next, the vase is knocked from the iron, so a punty can be introduced. This is the process where the iron is removed from the top and a new iron is applied to the base, so that the neck can be reheated and trimmed with glass-cutting shears. The glassmaker continues working, reheating and moulding the vase until he's happy with the overall shape. Once the vase is finished, it can be knocked off the iron and placed in the kiln overnight at a temperature of 500 degrees centigrade. This will allow the vase to go through the annealing process. The glass will cool slowly, so the temperature can cool at the same time on the surface as on the inside. This reduces the chance of cracking or splitting. The next process is that of finishing. The vase will need to have the rough punty mark on the base smoothed using two separate diamond wheels. And finally, a pumice paste will polish the base to a finished shine. After all these processes, the glassmaker can stand back and check the quality of his work.